All right, everybody, welcome back to another week of D&D. Oh, that's some feedback.
No, sorry. Sorry about
What?
Okay.
That's not feedback whatsoever.
Okay, that was ignore that. I am terribly sorry.
that. I saw
that
my
was a thing.
speakers on. Sorry.
No, we're good. We got that. We got it out of the way. We got it fixed. Let me just
hey, at least it
restart.
was the first thing we did instead of like.
Oh,
in the middle.
absolutely. Watch it not happen in the middle of all of this. So, anyway, let me restart with that. Welcome back, guys, to another week of our D&D games in the setting of Mundus. Last week, Mundus, yeah, Mundus.
Mundus. Okay, go ahead.
So
Does not sound like it should have a long
it's Latin.
wound us.
Or world,
So
right?
yeah, actually.
Oh. Okay.
I don't know why you know that, but okay. So, to do a very quick recap here, where we last left the adventuring party, they had been tasked with delivering rights, essentially, to these other lords of the lands, and from the leader Zio from the city of Dagbor, demanding a summit of the leaders. The first city that they came to in the city... Oh, excuse me, pardon me. In the city of Baran, they were met with the leader, Palig, who happens to be a Goliath hunter who runs the town. And he had some very reasonable doubts within the party. One being that they were trustworthy to have such authority to call forth a summit, and the other being their ability to carry said letters to the other individual leaders of the realm. Knowing this, he demanded that they prove their mettle in a test of strength, and he would send men for them when it was time.
Yeah.
He also demanded that they would return to the city of Dagbor and come back once again with the elf, one of the elf servants from within the folds of Zio. Sorry. And that would prove worthy, as they knew, as him and the other lords would know who this elf is. And with that, we go back into the session where the current part of the night, where the party had just made camp and began to set up night watches. So my question to you guys is, as we kind of dive back into this tonight, do you guys want to accomplish anything before we start taking watches? Otherwise, we'll jump right into rolling perception checks in order of the night watch list.
So are you asking us if we want to steal some watches?
No, you guys are gonna take watch, but you guys want to do.
No.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So nobody wants to do anything before watch is commenced.
I think I'm good.
I would like to talk to Kadia about some of the magic he knows.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
Yeah, you guys are welcome to have a conversation before your watch.
So Kadia, but before you ask your question, Kadia has already laid down and is ready to fall asleep. About the moment he starts to drift off, that's when you start to talk.
Okay. So, Katya,
Huh?
you know message.
Yeah? What about it?
Even in Hofkeen, we don't use it. We have higher technology that no one has to use spells for. But without that, I feel it would be useful for us. Do you mind teaching it?
Well, if you have technology back where you're from that eliminates the necessity for message, why do you need to learn it so bad?
For us here. Until we
For
find our
us
way
here.
home.
Ah, I see. I mean,
From the
Patig
two
writes
Griffin attacks, I would say a need for instant communication might be, well, say bandit attacks, and we want to warn, say, Carden, who's in the middle of them, that someone's going to drop a fireball. But we don't want the bandits knowing. Mental message, say, get out of there, fireball, and then drop it.
I mean, that is a good point. Just from our meetings earlier today, it would appear that Valinar and Carden both have a latent ability to mind link, but I do not have that ability, which is why I had to use magic. Magic is just a prominent thing where I'm from, and I see you didn't bring your fancy communication technology with you, so I suppose it wouldn't be a bad idea. I mean, my understanding is whatever mind link that they're using operates on the same premise as message. Correct?
Sounds about right. I'd have to take a deeper look. Also 2DM. Would Denox's study of their race give him any insight to this? Rip?
That's tricky. Go ahead and make I'll say a history check with disadvantage, just because you're not. It's hard to distinguish between a Kalishtar and a human because they're nearly identical. And working in a morgue. Holy, are you freaking kidding me right now?
That's a 24 with disadvantage?
Yeah, okay, so I rolled a 17 and a natural 20 with my plus 7. That's a 24 and a 27.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, just okay.
I mean, from my knowledge, I don't mistake a Kalishtar with a human. But that doesn't help me with mental communication, right?
Right. So, given that you rolled a 24 history check on a disadvantage check, you would know that Kalistars have a series of traits given to them by the other soul, essentially, that's trapped within them. Some of these traits differ from person to person, but some of the things that tend to be identical most of the time involves some form of ability to link telepathically to those around them. While the range is fairly limited, it is something that they are able to do. They also have a lot of mental fortitude due to this extra soul existing within them. I will say that you happen to know that due to both studying and knowing about Kalistars and being a learned folk, you can gather that kind of information from that.
So to Katia, I say, mental capabilities are not their strong suit, but they are more leaning towards it. Simply because of the second soul in them.
Mhm. So as long as the second soul is intact, then they have essentially message available to them. But they had to be the ones to initiate it.
Yes,
And the range is limited. Unfortunately, working with cadavers, you wouldn't necessarily know the
How
extent
limited,
of
but-
that range is. So you just know it's limited, but
Also, real quick, do I know can one connect to another and message back?
with that check, I would say yes. Also, they did it earlier today.
Oh yeah, right.
In that council meeting. So yeah, you would know that.
Okay.
As for teaching message, I didn't even actually have message taught to me. It just appeared one day. After, I guess I've never explained the story of how I got my magic ability in the first place. Let's just say I was mixing components, trying to find a way to more effectively produce water on a grander scale. I was half asleep, and I grabbed the wrong vial and dropped the wrong components into a mixture, and the resulting incident awakened some sorceress abilities within me, which is why I know magic. And message just happened to be one of those abilities. But so I wouldn't know how to teach it to anybody. I mean, I could show you how I use message myself. You know, the verbal and somatic components of it. But there is one other thing I need to know about your lineage. I know you are dragonborn. What exactly? What dragon were you descended from?
I show my black scales.
Ah, yes. Okay.
A,
The thing is,
a fairly obvious trait, but nevertheless.
You never know when it might be like a dark copper. You never know. Because that is important. You also have to be able to carry a small piece of copper with you for the purpose of using the spell. Now, granted, we do have copper coins. That should suffice.
DM.
Yes.
Does that suffice? Does the
That is an interesting question, considering it's a cantrip. I think it specifically states I think it specifically
Copper wire?
states a copper wire. But let me just double check here. This is message. A
Yes,
short piece of
it
copper
does-
wire, so it would have to
Yeah.
be a copper wire. Now, you could, in theory, melt a copper piece down to form a copper wire, but that would be essentially sacrificing a copper piece.
Oh, big loss.
To others, it's more than most.
True. But for some of us.
yeah.
Carden's
can-
over here
I
like,
can
what's a copper piece?
So I can show you how I use message, but I don't know if that means you'll be able to use it or not.
At the very least, it will give me a direction.
All right. Because you have mentioned that it would be useful in combat tactics and possibly even beyond. I will attempt to teach you, but how well you pick up on that is based on your ability as a spellcaster.
Fair enough. I know there's a few spells that I just wasn't able to learn that I should have, but others that I shouldn't be able to learn, I did.
But with the conveniences of this magitech that you keep mentioning, it would sound like learning magic wouldn't really be, I don't know, practical for your kind.
It is a eclectic taste,
Ah, I see.
and
Seems to
there
be
were
that just seems to be normal among us spellcasters.
yes, there were other extenuating circumstances behind my learning it. Number one being my mentor is a caretaker of the undead, and learning. They're technically classified as necromancy spells, but they are blessed spells to interact with the dead.
And where I'm from, as far as undead are concerned, when somebody dies, they stay dead. If they're undead, it's unnatural. But that's just where I'm from.
Cultural differences.
Clearly, there's a lot of differences between my people and yours. So then Katya attempts to teach Dinok how to use message. DM, go.
Hold on one second here.
Would that be a performance?
Potentially. Sorry, I was just somebody was
Potentially.
It sounded like somebody was rubbing their mic. Was checking that. So, excuse me. For trying to teach somebody how to do a new spell, it is going to be for Katya. It'll be a performance check. And for Dinok, it would be let's see. I think it might be a
performance?
Go ahead.
Ooh.
Well, I performed terribly with a 6.
And for you, Dinok, I think it's gonna be like either a wisdom or an insight check.
Doesn't help me either way, so.
Obviously, because it's a cantrip, it's a lower
Oh
DC.
Lord. Well, okay.
Well, I don't learn nothing.
So this
Well,
actually
because
kind
I
of
didn't teach it very well.
this so funny enough, this actually makes a whole lot of sense. So Katya, because you haven't had a need to teach anyone anything, A, you make a horrible teacher,
Yeah.
and B, your magic kind of just appeared and you could do things. You can't explain where it came from necessarily. And you can't
Furthermore, my environment.
Mm-hmm. And you can't necessarily identify where it comes from. Like wizards, they know where their magic comes from. It comes from drawing upon the weave and forcing the arcane powers through their own will and components, essentially. You, on the other hand, don't have that as much.
Exactly.
And
It
so
just kinda, bam, there it is.
between that combination, you make a terrible teacher. And Dinok, due to Katya being less of a stellar, less than par of a stellar teacher, he's very confusing, and so it's just very difficult to grasp the knowledge of this spell. And since this is a spell that is very rarely found in like a written word, in a sense, it's very difficult for you to understand the properties of it and such. So essentially, he became that one teacher who just went, "Okay, go do that thing."
You didn't show me anything.
It's essentially
All
that.
I
Or-
saw was the other spellcaster just kind of phantom mining, like
Mm-hmm. You essentially watched him attempt to do. You essentially saw him like point at Cardin, who's half asleep on the ground, and just say something, and then Cardin doesn't move or react, and he goes, "See, it worked great." And you're really confused by it. It's like quite literally like if somebody were to just like you ask them how to do it and they just go, well, you just kind of do this, and they show you really quickly how to do it, and then
See, it's
all right,
easy.
and then all right, you're on your own, bye, and you're kind of just left there holding the cookie jar in a sense. So, but it makes sense just because of the spell's nature and Katya being a rough teacher, to say the least. But you guys spend a little bit of time doing that, by which point in time it would be ready. It would be about time for watches to take place. Otherwise, you would be cutting into the night as people are beginning to kind of settle down and sleep for the night.
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to take first watch.
Yep, I have the night watch order. It goes Dinok, Cardin, Katya, Valinar. So in that order, I'm going to have people
Sweet.
roll a perception check for the evening. So Dinok, go ahead and start us off.
Let's hope my perception's better than my insight.
Likewise.
Not shit, but not great.
I mean, right down the middle is about as great as you can get.
10's about average.
Yep. So there doesn't
So
seem
I'm
to
kind of distracted by trying to
Mhm.
figure out what.
you're like still kind of
Yeah.
half trying to make sense of the message spell, and because of that, nothing catches your attention while on watch. After a few hours, you wake Cardin for his watch. You get some shut eye yourself. So,
What I do to wake him up, I think you know by now. Mage hand.
Mage hand. Oh no.
I'm an utter trolley bastard. You gotta understand that.
All right, so Cardin, you were awoken by something jabbing you in the forehead.
Blind?
I said that sounds about right. That I'm not coming in again.
We didn't hear
All I
that.
heard was why?
We didn't hear. We didn't hear
Mhm.
we didn't hear the sounds about right. But whenever you spoke that second time, of like whenever you just began to speak again, we heard, you came in clear.
I go ahead and I just sort of like smack at the like whatever's hitting me in the face,
Okay.
because I mean I'm asleep and I won't see that hand at all. So
It's dark and it's considered spectral, so yeah.
mhm. Yeah, I'm going to like whack at whatever, like, because I probably think it's like a mosquito or something like that.
So you do that that thing where you're like swiping your hand in front of your face really hard, like you're trying to catch a fly, but we all know that you're not going to catch that fly. So what do you? He kind of rolls back over then there, Dinok.
Is it time
Huh?
already?
Oh, there he goes. He spoke.
I walk over to him and using Mage Hand again to just poke him like in the back of his head while I'm shaking him, his shoulder.
Okay.
Doing that. Stop. I'm trying to sleep.
It's time for
Will you
your
guys
walk.
keep it down? I'm trying to sleep. Katya rolls over.
fine.
I don't know if your passive perception
And-
is that high, Katya.
I know.
12 is
I
questionable.
mean,
'Cause, I mean, we're not like talking really loudly, so.
No, they're stage whispering.
ah,
Anyway,
Yeah, so I get up to take my watch.
okay.
Reluctantly, probably. But yes.
Okay. All right. You kind of sit around and poke the fire a little bit and kind of stare into the embers a little bit as you begin to wake up a little bit more, becoming aware of what's around you, the river, or the creek, I guess, is more accurate description, and the noises of the forest. So go ahead and roll a perception check.
nice.
Okay.
You see everything.
As your watch passes, you see some animals kind of move on the edge of the forest. Nothing that alarms you. You see like some raccoons and squirrels moving about, but most of the creatures that you see kind of just come close enough to kind of like see just a little bit of the fire, and kind of sees that when it's, a campsite, they kind of just move on. Nothing outside of the forest and the sound of the river that you guys are camped near catch your attention as your watch comes to an end. And you go to wake up Katya.
You're not coming in again.
Katya continues to sleep.
I sort of like nudge her with my foot. Nudge him with my foot.
Okay. Katya, you feel a boot in your back.
Is it time for watch already? I swear I just laid down.
It's time for your watch.
Oh, fair enough. I'm owed a turn.
As you
So Katya gets up begrudgingly and assumes the watch position. Now, he has never stood a watch before, so this should be interesting.
Yeah. What is the watch position that Katya assumes?
Kind of stands up by the edge of the camp, back to the fire, looking out into the darkness. Not like he could see anything in the darkness, but
I mean, the campfire that you guys have, I imagine at this point it's burned to a low ember as to not be a roaring fire to keep you guys awake. So it sheds light probably in about a 30, it gives low light probably in about a 30 or 35 foot radius around the campfire, or around the camp. So you can kind of wander the perimeter as you take your watch. Go ahead and make your perception check.
here goes nothing. That is a 9.
All right.
Historically low.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. You're not really sure what you're watching out for to begin with.
Yep.
You've never really been in dense woods per se. You might have traveled alongside them, but it's always been on a populated road.
Exactly.
So you're kind of just watching the woods, and you see some movement of some of the bushes and trees, but you kind of just chop it up to the wind. But your watch continues to go by without issue.
Sweet.
Here we go again.
And then Valinar would be the last one.
Okay, so Katya goes to wake up Valinar, and once he manages to get his attention, he just shakes him awake on the shoulder. Not enough to be like a brute about it, but
Right.
get his attention. And once he's awake, Katya says to Valinar, "Try not to fall asleep this time." Make sure he gets up. Make sure he gets up to his feet before he goes and lays back down.
Recommendation before you go to sleep: slap me.
I. All right, sure. I can try.
Roll an unarmed strike. It's a D20 plus your
Strength.
strength modifier, I believe. I don't know if you're proficient in unarmed strikes or not.
Definitely not.
Well, some people argue that you are proficient in your own body.
Well, that's a 7 to hit.
7. So he kind of just like laying on the ground, kind of just He's still like 10 feet away from you, Valinar, but he just
There,
All right,
I
I'll do
slapped
it
you.
myself. I slap myself.
Sure. Are you trying to cause damage, or are you just trying to slap yourself in the face to wake yourself
I'm
up?
trying to slap myself awake.
Okay, so you're not intentionally trying to cause damage, yeah?
No.
So with that, go ahead and just make a strength check.
It's going great.
Wop, wop, wop.
I'm gonna
Wow.
I'm gonna say that you don't take any damage, but you definitely feel more awake now, and your cheek might be a little red.
Cool.
So go ahead and make your perception check for the evening. Or morning, I guess, at this point.
Oh, much better.
Hey.
Hey,
21.
Look at that.
21.
Ow. Alright.
No, I'm honestly-
You do not fall asleep this time.
Sweet.
Second here. Yep. Alright. So your watch tends to kind of goes by without issue, Valinar, and as the morning light kind of begins to crest the sky, and you know that first light has begun, and you're kind of sitting at this point in time, and you begin to kind of just feel like now would be a good time to get up and kind of wake the party. You hear you actually just hear sorry, let me reread my notes. Oh yes. So as you begin to like work up the momentum, I guess is the way of saying it. Like you begin to shift, you just hear Palig is ready for you guys, and right inside your ear.
Great.
So
There's someone standing right next to me.
yes.
All right, cool. Let me just wake everyone up real quick. Hey guys, he's ready.
Who's ready?
You turn and you
Palig.
guys see
I
a
just point
small half orc man standing kind of beside Valinar.
How small?
How tall is Valinar again?
Valinar's 5'8".
So he's a little bit
That's
taller than Valinar. He's about 5'10", 5'11", and he's much more of a scrawny build, and he's lanky. He's not real like thick like some of the other orcs that you've seen and half orcs. He's a little more lanky than thick, I guess. But Valinar, you did not hear him approach.
Cool.
You were closer than anyone else, but I rolled for them before. He actually rolled a 22 stealth.
God dang it.
Oh, damn.
So close.
I know. So, just for flavor, he literally kind of just walks right up and puts his ear like right next to your ear and just, by the way, and it kind of causes you to jump a little bit, but as any kind of noise would when you're sitting in quiet and then all of a sudden somebody's speaking and you never heard them approach. But you wake up the rest of the party. Some are more eager or more like ready to leap into action than other, Carden being that one. To kind of just like leap to his feet, sword in hand, ready to move. But you guys are awake, and there is
Enoch just wakes up to a thrashing of limbs.
like a child having a fit in the middle of the night.
Well, just that he was extremely surprised when Valinar shouted,
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
and you distinctly hear "Mother."
Good morning to you too.
It's okay, Dinok. We're not under attack this time, apparently.
No.
Are you sure?
And I look
Yes,
specifically
'cause I'm
to
awake.
Carden. No, I say, "Are you sure?" And I look specifically to Carden.
Carden kind of just. I'm assuming Carden's just standing there, kind of sword in hand, looking around. Probably eyes
I'm-
locked on the half orc at this point.
Yeah, that's basically what I'm doing.
The half orc, by the way, Carden, go ahead and make a insight check on the half orc here. I'll let Carden do it since he's the one kind of locking eyes with him.
Nice. Nat 20.
Natural 20. Wow. Okay, get him out now, guys.
So that we can only get, nat 1 when we get to combat.
Sweet.
Exactly. It'll be great.
So, when you looking over this man, you get this sense that he is, Carden specifically, you get this sense that he is kind of sheepish, in regards that he doesn't socialize very much. He also does not happen to carry any weapons with him. He is very lean. He is very lanky, like I said, but you specifically kind of recognize that while he is lanky, he is not necessarily weak. He carries himself in a manner of confidence, but he kind of lowers his head. Like the moment you guys make eye contact, he kind of like looks down and away from you. He appears to not assume a confidence or appreciate even confrontation, as your nature is confrontation. He kind of shies away from you almost immediately.
Nothing again.
Uh-oh.
Really?
Blind.
Yeah,
Blind.
Really?
yeah. Now you're talking. I'm almost
Okay.
wondering if you have like a mic setting issue, dude. That's so weird. It almost sounds like you're using like you have a noise gate in effect, and you're just not either like speaking loud enough or close enough to your mic that the noise gate is still remaining engaged.
Real quick.
I mean,
I
that
want
time
to check that real quick.
I don't know. I can't check it on my end. You can check it on your end, but you can. That
I'm
time,
doing.
yeah. That I mean, you're sounding better right now, but
You
anyway,
could unplug it
what-
and replug it.
what did you
Didn't
say?
you say you changed the gain for the last time? What if you tried changing it back?
What?
Bad idea. You said something about the gain, apparently.
I was talking to him before. He said something about changing the gain right before the last game when this.
Is this better?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had noise suppression on.
that
Yeah.
that had to have been it.
Entire problem.
That had to have been
So
it. You
you're-
just
So what
Oh.
you're saying is your mic believed your voice was just a noise.
Apparently.
Oh, dude, it's so much better. You're picking up all the time now.
Yeah.
It's perfect
I
now.
was wondering because I ran a diagnostic earlier and I said it was fine, but okay.
Well, yeah, because noise
Um,
suppression is meant to filter out background noise.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I was running like a thing to like make sure my mic wasn't in like dire straits of dying.
Right, but it's not going to pick up a noise suppression because it thinks you know what you're doing.
I actually didn't know I had noise suppression on, so
Apparently, you don't.
But,
Anyway,
okay.
what did you after that insight check? What did you say?
I'm trying to remember.
Uh-oh.
Basically, I told you he was a non-combative, or at least he didn't like confrontation, and your nature being confrontation, he shied away from you immediately.
I say I actually am just going to be like, hi there.
Okay,
Do
you,
like that.
you
What
say,
hast thou come to
I literally just shouted it.
what hast thou come?
the half orc kind of
When-
goes, I'm here to take you to Palig, like he
Okay,
says, and
let's
kind
go.
of points to his side at Valinar.
Okay,
I
let's
just
go.
told you guys.
Oh, you must be the men that Palig said he was going to send for us.
I mean, yes, I am a man who has been sent by Palig for you. He's waiting nearby.
All right, well, why delay?
Can I do a
get
perception?
moving.
If he's just like watching us from the tree line or something.
Sure, go ahead and roll a perception check.
That would be so weird. Hey, guys.
16. He doesn't seem to be within eye shot.
Okay.
If you guys are ready, he'll guide you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, why delay? Let's go.
So he kind of guides you back towards the town a little ways. And as you guys kind of enter the town from the hold on, I want to check my map so I have directions, the proper directions. Excuse me. Kind of towards the where you guys arrived. You guys kind of back towards the city, heading in a southwestern-ish direction to get back into the city. You guys, he kind of leads you in and then goes to the east a little bit, kind of taking the main thoroughfare and going out of the city. And as you guys kind of walk out of the city, he actually leads you to a bridge that crosses the river, and you guys cross this river or creek where you guys actually see Palig and a number of other hunters standing around with at the other side of this bridge. Most of them seem to be armed with bows and arrows, some wearing some furs and other greenish colors, whereas Palig himself is simply just wearing pants. He has his quiver and bow kind of strung over his shoulder, kind of just giving his men some orders, it appears, as you guys begin to approach. But you guys approach and as you guys approach, Palig kind of turns and goes, "Oh, welcome back. We had an evening, and we have found something for you to prove your mettle again. Is you ready?"
I guess as ready as I'm ever going to be. What exactly are we doing?
You guys are going to hunt.
Oh no.
Oh yes.
Kind of he kind of just goes, not terribly far from here, there's actually a pack of trolls that wander the forest, but typically they don't come too close to this. However, at least one, strayed from the pack. Probably a outcast, somebody who challenged the chieftain or of sorts and got excommunicated. He is wandered too close to the city, and we would like for to exterminate.
So we're hunting a troll.
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
He said yeah. Said yes.
Oh,
Sorry if I didn't.
I didn't hear it.
Yeah, well, it's the same issue we had with Blind. You didn't say a thing.
Oh, okay.
Ah.
I may not have been close enough to my mic.
Okay.
Yes, Yes, you were hunting the troll.
And you were sure it's by itself?
My scouts report that it is. And kind of gestures
Well, I
to the
hope-
men behind him.
Katya takes one good look at these scouts that he mentions.
Okay.
And says, "Well,
Roll. Do you want to roll an insight on them?
sure."
Go ahead. Roll insight. Everybody
Okay,
can
but
if you would desire to insight these men of his.
Nat 1. Here we go.
26.
Because Palig said it, I believe it.
Okay. Katya, that middle one's kind of cute.
Yeah. Not
he-
surprised.
He's actually a fairly tall, not too muscular half elf actually, and has a surprisingly strong jawline. The rest of you, these men appear to be all very capable hunters. They seem to have a very large knowledge of this forest and woods around them, as well as just having a knowledge of the lay of the land. They don't seem to be untaught with any information that has been given, and so from what you gather, Valinar specifically, to your knowledge, they are telling you the truth completely. They have not hidden anything. To the best of their knowledge and the areas that they have scouted, there seems to only be one troll.
All right. So while everybody else is picking out this information for themselves, Katya can't take his eyes off of that middle hunter, and he finds his heart rate is increasing, and he's starting to get nervous. And when he realizes that he's caught staring at this hunter, this gorgeous man, he quickly averts his eyes and says, "Well, I'm ready to go hunting if everybody else is."
You hear a slight chuckle from the half elf as you kind of bashfully turn away.
I think someone's got a crush.
Make an insight check. No, I'm kidding.
Oh God, please no!
Insight.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's actually rolled.
There you go.
Oh Lord, y'all can't tell.
Actually, that would technically be a deception check by you, Katya.
Alright. Deception it is.
Y'all can't tell.
22. Screw you all. He hides it well.
I would say probably no. Well, I'm just gonna say no. You guys can't tell.
Dang.
So. Oh, that's
Sorry,
funny though.
I was thinking about that troll that we were going to fight, and I am nervous as can be about that. That's a lot of work.
That just sounds like fun.
Well, you
Probably.
would think so. That's like your language.
Oh.
Palig kind of goes, right. Anyway, the troll is in the woods. Part of the task is going to be to find him. We will give you a little bit of aid in the information that the troll is no more than a day's travel from the city. He is going to be within that expanse of the woods. If you travel for more than what? He kind of turns back to the men. 6 hours? The half-elf kind of steps forward and kind of just, assuming charge of the group, kind of just answers more of a, about 5 hours, sir. 5 hours, any more than that, and they're probably outside of its territory. Right. 5 hours. Anything more than that, and you would probably very well be out of its hunting grounds. So, with that information,
So-
Palig goes, any last questions before you head off?
What type of troll is it?
Palig looks to you confuzzled for a moment. I'm not sure what you mean.
Copy that. Let's go kill it.
He kind of looks at you confuzzled as you kind of, like, confusingly as you kind of just walk past him a little bit, and... Okay.
So,
Anyway.
above game question, did he mention which, like, side of the city or, like, rough area and I missed it, or...
I think he kind of pointed in a direction.
So, essentially what he is telling you is the troll is on the other side of the river from the city.
Okay.
So if you remember the copy of the map that you have, it would essentially be the northern side of the river, which you guys are currently standing on. Currently,
Gotcha.
the city is behind you guys, so as long as you don't
Gotcha.
turn around and cross the bridge, you are heading in the right direction.
Good.
Okay. Cool.
I'm gonna leave it up to. I'll use the map to keep an idea of where we're going, but Cardin's gonna be the one looking out for, I guess, anything troll related. I don't know. Do they piss on trees? Do they trample branches? How do we know when we're getting close?
Trolls tend to mark
big
their area. They make it, as this one says, they make a big path. They're not necessarily little creatures.
Okay, so we'll know when it's in its territory then.
They stand out. They have a very green and yellowish hue to them. But being giantkin, they are rather dangerous and large.
Dangerous and large. Okay, Cardin, lead on.
Okay, I leave.
All right.
Onward.
Okay.
Whoa,
Alrighty then. You guys are trusting Cardin with guiding you to this.
By the way,
Like I
Corey?
said, I'm carrying the map.
as we leave, Valnar does mention he's not very stealthy. At all.
Well, I mean,
Uh,
I don't think any of us are.
Palig would probably say before you if you mention that to him before you leave, he would say, wouldn't be too much of an issue unless you are trying to get the drop on the troll. The trolls are typically violent creatures, especially if you're within their territory. But unless you wish to get the drop on them, you don't need to worry about sneaking up on it. In fact,
Cool.
making noise might draw it to you. It's all part of the hunt. How you hunt is how you hunt. It has nothing to do except it's the only thing it has to do is between you. He points to the woods, or so he goes you, and he kind of points to you, the creature you hunt, and he points to the woods, and between your god, and he points to the symbol on your you have a necklace, right? Or is it in your?
Yeah, it's a necklace. Yeah.
So he kind of points to your holy symbol necklace, kind of a thing. He kind of smiles and goes, "Happy hunting," and he kind of claps you on the shoulder, which his hand kind of envelops your shoulder, as he is a very large individual, and he begins to walk back across the bridge, as well as do some of the hunters. All but two leave, and one of them kind of turns and goes, "We won't be helping in the fight, but we're basically to act as escort or scouts in case something were to go awry. And most likely you will not even know we're nearby. But good luck," they say, and they both kind of just yeah, they vanish into the foliage of the forest.
They seem nice.
Let's hope so. I'd hate to get an arrow in my back.
Long story short, they're not going to leave you for dead.
But if we end up dead, they'll bring our corpses back and probably
Maybe.
eat 'em.
You don't know.
Look what we caught hunting today.
It's fine.
You don't know. Not with that insight check. You're more like,
Well,
he could eat me. No, anyway.
Well, the 10 was for counting, but yeah.
Oh my.
All
They
right.
could eat me anytime they want. I mean, whoa.
So-
Oh.
Can we revisit that crush thing?
Just because of how well he rolled, I feel like not right now. But if an opportunity ever does present itself again, sure.
Okay, fine.
So, with that, you guys begin to enter the woods. Who is going to helm the tracking of this large creature? Would that be Cardin?
Was that a volunteer?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I'll,
Cardin,
I'll stay
Sorry, I
near
forgot
Cardin
that.
with the map.
are you attempting to aid him?
Yes.
Okay.
The map.
Uh-huh.
He
A,
can't
a
read.
thing that he has never
But
seen
I can.
nor is able to read.
Well, by
I can't
assisting,
watch
I
that.
mean, I hold the map and I kind of point him in the right direction, or where I think is the right direction.
So roll survival with disadvantage?
Oh, no.
No, just go ahead and roll I'm kidding. Go ahead and roll survival with advantage since Katya is attempting to help.
Oh, I thought you were telling me to do that.
No,
I
Cardin.
succeeded.
No,
Damn
no,
it.
Cardin was too. So 13. Okay. Let's see.
Katya survives because Cardin is the meat shield.
Yeah.
All right. So after a couple of hours, kind of just going in a straight-ish line from the city, within the first couple of hours you don't see any signs of a creature going through, especially not a large creature. You see the occasional trail of like a deer or something smaller like that. But after about 2.5 hours, find you find a path that seems to have been kind of pushed and broken past by what seems to be a large creature. You're not sure if it's what it is, but you do kind of pick up on the trail of a large-ish creature. So, what would you do?
Ow.
I'll follow the trail of the largest creature.
Okay, you kind of begin to follow this trail. Go ahead and make a. Go ahead and make as you kind of like begin to follow the trail. Go ahead and make a nature check as you kind of find footprints. 14, not bad.
Not bad for an egg one.
Right? You actually
Why
recognize
does-
you.
What?
Never mind.
Yeah, nature. So that okay. So above game, real quick. There are a few statistics that are based off of intelligence that I highly disagree with,
Like nature?
like nature.
Mm-hmm.
I think there was one other, just because like that's the whole shtick of a druid, essentially, and it's not nature and religion actually are the two that I'm like, wait, what?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I would think religion would be under wisdom, but
So this is so
Yeah.
honestly the changes that I
Like-
think would need to be done. Religion needs to be moved to wisdom, and druids need to become an int caster. I think if you did those two changes, everything else would balance itself back out, and it would be fine. Plus, it would then give D&D an additional intelligence caster class, other than wizard and the half caster of artificer.
And Blood Hunter.
I'm not counting those half bastards. They're fighters, okay? Blood hunters and Eldritch Knights are fighters. They're yeah. Anyway, that's those are the change above game. That's my thoughts on changes anyway. But anyway, with that nature check, you quickly identify that these tracks and this path that seems to have been open before you has been created by what appears to be a large bear of some kind, and not a troll that it could have been.
do we still have to fight the bear?
No, you don't travel down the pathway very far before finding tracks and realizing, oh, this isn't a bear, and turning around.
Oh, okay.
Or sorry, oh, this isn't the
Troll.
the troll, and turning around. You don't find it. So
Man, I was all excited there for a moment.
Dang it.
Just means I
Okay,
get to live.
let's keep looking.
all
Just means we
right.
can live a little bit longer.
As you guys kind of probably take a short break to get food and water at a certain point in time. It is hot in here. Like, it's not necessarily a cool temperature. It's actually fairly warm, especially as it's becoming, closer to midday. So with that, go ahead and make another survival check with advantage there, Cardin.
Real
Gross.
quick,
I'm
question.
starting to stick to
for
my robes.
I'm sorry,
Sorry.
Dinak?
real quick question.
Yep.
Who's got a pet in the background that's tags are just going nuts?
That would be my cat.
Yeah, I think that's your cat, Rona.
Yeah, give me a moment. I'm gonna mute myself and go deal with him.
I kind of heard that too, but I didn't say anything because sometimes it's just real quick. But
I mean, it's been pretty constant tonight.
oh, really? That was the first time I noticed it.
Yeah.
I didn't notice it until you said something, actually.
Alrighty. I'm kind of continuing just because he'll just be a minute and then we'll be going on. So with a
Okay, I'm back.
with a 22 survival. Thank God for advantage. After about another hour of traveling, you actually pick up on a large bipedal footprint, looking very similar to those that you had once tracked in your homelands, Cardin. As trolls are not something that you have fought before. Not very many, but occasionally. You pick up on its trail, and you know that you guys are within its hunting grounds, and that its essentially lair should be somewhere nearby.
I look at the footprints. I say, this way it let out like sort of like this roarish, howlish thing, like a more like a bear soundy.
You do?
And I sound like a like I try to like almost imitate a bear, and then I just like dash off in the direction that the footprints are. After I say follow me.
Okay.
Enoch just turns to the others and goes, "What the fuck?"
Something is not right with that guy.
Well, we better keep up or we're going to lose them.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
As you're running through the forest, Cardin, give me one more survival check. This one is just a straight roll because you're moving really fast, and Cardin is not Caddy is not there. Natural one.
Right into a bear trap.
Okay.
Oof.
The
I
worst
get-
time to
I
have
like
that one.
Smack my head on a branch.
No, I think something else is gonna happen.
Oh
Oh,
no! You're gonna run face first into the troll. Of course, face first into where? How low are you to the ground, Cardin?
Oh, I'm like full
Oh,
tilt
fuck.
running.
Okay.
Depending on which way the troll's running, this could be amazing. Well, either way.
Well,
Troll
so
butt.
good news or bad news?
Yes.
Okay. Well, the good
Let's do-
news.
Mhm.
Which one do you want first?
Let's take the good news first.
Okay. Well, first off, before that, how far behind are the rest of you guys?
I mean,
I had to take a moment to kind of collect myself as Carton dashed off. So I want to say he probably has a 120-foot head start.
I mean, Cardin's fast, but I don't think he's that fast. Like even taking a
do we want to
moment,
say 60?
huh?
Do we want to say 60, saying he went off on dash, and then we started dashing?
I mean, I honestly, that's about what I was thinking. Is somewhere between 30 to 60 feet is probably about how
That'll
far
work.
away I would allow you guys to be.
I was
Just-
being generous.
Just because of his current location and everything. So, you guys, are you guys wanting 30 or 60?
60 for me.
60.
I'd probably be closer to about 45, 50.
Okay. So give me just 1 second here to kind of make sure that I do all of this properly.
Because the way I see it, Katya and I make sure the meat shields are in front.
Yeah.
I try to make it so I'm at least semi-close to both groups.
So, okay, we're gonna. Okay. Alrighty. So, Cardin, as
Yeah.
you take off running, the troll actually swipes at you.
Oh no.
And from as you kind of rush past a like a large rock. It kind of saw, it kind of like heard you coming, and
Oh.
that was yeah, kind of like saw
Like
you
that.
coming. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Kind of like saw you coming, and as you like ran semi past it, it swipes at you and actually landed a natural 20. Sorry.
Oh no.
So you take, as it kind of just reaches out and swipes at you as it runs past you, you take.
That was a lot of dice.
No, it's no.
That or bouncy dice.
That is. Oh wait, I gotta double this because of crit. You take 22 points of. Oh wait, hold on. No, I read that right. 22 points of slashing damage as you race past this beast. And
That's a lot of damage.
I'm gonna move you all over to the map as you turn and face this large green and yellow creature, kind of.
That's about right.
Kind of just kind of looking at you, kind of as you are currently in its hunting grounds and effectively its home. And I would like everybody to roll initiative.
Initiative.
I'm starting combat with 12 hit points, just so you know.
So what happens when you run off on your own?
Run forward.
Well, I mean, that's what Cardin would do.
Are you freaking kidding me? Okay, well, Cardin, what's your dex?
My dex is 14, so it has a 2
Plus
mod.
two. Plus two. Okay. Because I'm not kidding you. I rolled another natural 20 for this thing's initiative. So.
Oh no!
Welcome to the one where the barbarian dies.
But
Oh no!
so did Cardin, and Cardin has a better dex.
So I go first.
You better get the flip out of there, man.
Yes. Sorry, I gotta readjust all of this. I'm gonna. Oh, so those things aren't.
No bueno.
Okay, so hold on a second here while I adjust all of this, because I gotta add everybody to a turn order now.
Yeah.
So give me 1 second here as I do so.
What are our initiative rolls?
I got a
Bad.
6, so I'm dead last.
Yeah.
I got a 22.
I got an 11.
Dina got a 9.
I got a 9.
Patia got a 6.
Woohoo! Go me.
Okay.
Jeez.
Not how I was expecting this to start, but nevertheless, here we are. At the moment, so at the top of the round, it is Cardin's turn. Cardin, you are currently not in melee with the creature. You kind of ran outside of its melee range, which is why it attacked you. But it's now there in front of you. About, just about 10, well, technically it's, you take a step forward, 5 feet forward, and it's within melee. But it is your turn, and you know your allies are seemingly behind it. Also, just so that you guys know, this rock here is actually a very large boulder. So you guys actually would not see the troll from this angle currently, okay?
So we don't even know it's there, technically.
You heard Cardin cry out in pain, so yes, you do know it's there. So
Well, we know something hurt him, but we don't know what.
Yeah, you would assume it's the troll, but you're not 100% sure either. So, Cardin, it is your turn, and what would you like to do now that it is your turn?
I'm gonna Cardin first off is gonna be like troll. He's gonna like shout troll.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Oh, we found the troll.
And, where is my mover?
If you pointed to it, Valinar would be the only person to be able to see it, or see you pointing at it behind the rock.
Well, I mostly just like shouted it rather than like pointed at it.
Okay.
I was saying like moving my figure. Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Not moving there yet.
Okay, so
I
you
wanna
just move 10 feet down southward?
I want to move 10 feet down and then like actually into melee with it. Bonus action rage.
Okay.
Because I'm not dealing with that. And yeah, I'm just going to like I know the smart thing is like to run towards Valinar because
Healer.
Healy boy. But
you not smart.
I'm not smart. Cardin, he's a little ticked off. Well,
Fair enough.
obviously he's raging. But going into this fight, he's just like, okay. And he just takes like a giant two-handed swing with his greatsword
All right. Go ahead.
to reckless attack the troll.
Okay.
Oh no!
Roll your great sword attack with advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Soft 20, that will hit.
Well, a soft 20 hit.
It will hit.
Yeah.
It will indeed. 12 slashing. Now remind me, is your rage damage calculated into that?
No.
Okay, so that's actually 14 points of slashing damage.
Cool.
Nice.
Very nice first hit.
And then I sort of like give it the finger and I'm like, screw you. And I end my turn.
So as you kind of step forward and just take this giant blade of yours and slash it down kind of like part of its face, and you just screw you, and kind of growl in its face, the creature kind of rears its head back, and as it like slowly turns to you, you watch as this deep gash in its kind of face, as parts of it begin to slowly knit back together.
Yeah, trolls.
And
No.
and it's going to attempt to bite you. And because you reckless, it has advantage on the attacks.
Yep.
Okay. That is a...
If you say
With-
another natural 20, I am going to scream.
No. I rolled an 11 and a 14 on the die. So that means that the first one to hit is a 21.
What?
A 20... does a
Okay.
21 hit you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
It
20
has
on hits.
it has a +7 strength, doesn't it?
So a 21 hits. So you take 10 points of piercing damage, reduced to 5, as its maw kind of bites into your like you kind of try to fend it off with your great sword, like placing the blade in its mouth, but it's just such a large creature that it still kind of sinks its teeth into your shoulder a little bit, but then you push it off in your rage, and now the troll is going to attempt to claw at you with its 2 claw attacks. That hits. it's a 22 to hit.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the other one is a 26 to hit.
Gosh.
Natural 19. So you take
All my good rolls were
oh my
wasted earlier.
god. Hold on, I have to get a calculator because damage is going to add up very quickly if I keep rolling like that.
Stop rolling like that.
I'm sorry.
Use dice that work opposite
That'll
of what you're doing.
Okay, so to be fair, it is it has been a while and my dice are hungry because Cardin, you take an
I see.
additional 29 points of slashing damage reduced slashing damage reduced to 14.
Are you still alive, Cardin?
What?
Cardin?
Cardin?
His silence.
Oh, it's
Oh,
my-
your mic. Speak again.
I'm back. Did
Okay.
I just hear you guys?
Okay, did you hear what I said? You took 14 points of slashing.
I took 14 slash. Yeah, I'm unconscious.
Oh no.
Okay.
I had 7 hit points left.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it's nice knowing you guys.
With
I'm gonna
that,
switch headphones real quick.
okay, I'm just he's still living, but with that, the troll. Okay, he doesn't know. The troll is going to move.
It's never dealt with players before, so it doesn't know we still live.
Yeah. It is going to move. It's going to move here, and then see the rest of you guys, and just turn and snarl at you. Did I measure that
Well,
right?
clear line of sight at least.
Hold on. I gotta make sure that I measured distance right. I did not. So he's actually. You'd be able to get there. Sorry. Can't come down because of distance. You can't come down because of distance, but he is. That's where he's at. So. With that, that brings us to Valinar.
So, what did we learn about charging ahead of the party?
With your
I doesn't hear you.
As a player, I know that, but as
oh man, that's such a tight. So just so you know, that is such a tight line. But just because you have a high passive perception, I'll allow you to see that Cardin went down without making a roll.
Because that just ruined my entire turn. Thanks.
again,
Well, I was gonna make it so he probably couldn't hit anyone. But you went in reckless and died.
Yeah, they're not gonna lie. One of those hits still probably would have hit him. The second attack probably wouldn't have, but he might have lived. Although that first one I rolled max damage, so that was rough.
Dang it.
So what are you doing, Cardin?
Cardin.
Sorry,
I'm
Valinar.
unconscious.
I'm sorry, Valinar. What are you doing?
Well, I'm gonna stay put. I'm
Okay.
going to cast Healing Word.
What's the range on
Cardin.
Healing Word?
It's 60 feet, I think. Yeah, 60 feet.
Okay.
I think I'm within that, aren't I?
Yes.
Yep.
So I'm just gonna Healing Word on Cardin.
Okay.
Gonna let me.
Remember, it may pop up behind your sheet for whatever reason.
Yeah.
All right.
60. I mean,
You
6.
have
Wow.
you have
I minned out.
you have 6 hit points now, Cardin, and you are no longer. Oop, that is the wrong menu.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I can still cast a cantrip, can't I?
Yes.
Okay. I'm assuming this is still the day. Yeah, no, it's morning. What am I saying? Sorry. I'm going to use thaumaturgy to make my voice boom and shout, "Where the hell do you think you're going?" At the troll.
Oh,
Okay. What are you attempting to do here?
he's trying to draw
Well, he
attention.
looks like he's running away, and I'm trying to keep him from
Well-
running away.
Well, let me clarify, because I thought I said this, and if I didn't, I apologize. When he walked over here, as he's walking through the woods, he kind of turns and notices you guys, and then begins to kind of growl and roar at you guys.
Oh,
Yeah, but
okay.
does that
I
mean he's running
misunderstood.
away? But does that mean he's running away, or is he acting aggressive, like turning towards us to get ready to charge at us?
You're not sure.
gonna charge us.
You haven't really dealt with a troll before.
I'm just gonna use thaumaturgy to shout "coward" at it. Just call
Okay.
it coward. And that's it.
Okay. It does not speak your language, so it has no clue what you said. All right. With that, that brings us to Dinak.
All right. Okay. Are these right here like bushes?
They're bushes. So just for reference, the only thing on the map that you cannot occupy the same space as are the stumps. Okay? Because those are actually trees, but I figured this would be an easier way of representing it. These are bushes and different kinds of flowers and stuff. So you can push your way through them. Those squares are... Yeah, those are just squares that are there for decoration, essentially.
Wait.
So basically, I can't do this and still hit it. Because whatever I'm shooting goes through one of the trees.
I mean, you would still have line of sight on it because it's big.
So we're saying like that.
Yeah. You would still have line of sight on it because it's big. So something, and like something like magic missile, as long as you can see it, it'll hit.
But what I'm saying is I can't shoot something that goes this way.
Correct.
Okay. I wanted to get that.
Yeah, you can't
Wanna make
you
sure
can't shoot through a tree, unfortunately.
Okay,
Watch
just
me.
wanna make
I'm gonna take the tree with it.
sure-
Kill the tree.
Alright, so I'm
Fuck
gonna
that
move
tree
right
up.
here.
Uh-huh.
And I will actually shout. No, you know what? Let's not do that. We'll just firebolt it.
Firebolt? Okay. An 11 will miss.
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Guys, I think we killed those griffins too quickly.
This is a completely different fight with your barbarian at full health. Katya.
My turn. Alright. So I need to be within 30 feet of this thing to make my effective use. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 30 feet?
Yep.
That's 30 feet of movement, right?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, I calculated that right. Okay, so it's time to put my meta magic to use. So the first thing I'm going to do is cast Chromatic Orb as a second level spell. But first, let's see if it hits. Does a 22 hit him?
A 22 will hit. Chromatic Orb, specify
That-
the damage for me before you roll damage.
Yeah. Ooh.
Because I'm pretty sure you get to choose.
I'll do fire on this one.
Fire? Okay.
Fire. And we're gonna cast this as a second level spell. For 17 points of fire damage.
Alright, nice hit. Nice.
Alright, and now I'm going to use Quicken Spell. So I can cast Witch Bolt as a bonus action.
For casting, because you can only cast one spell in a turn, so if you can still use your meta magic to cast something as a bonus action, but at this point in time, because you used chromatic orb, it would have to be a cantrip.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's
I
specific.
did not know that.
So that's the rules as written, and there's a specific feat in the Tal'Dorei campaign guide that allows for something different than that. And I don't know if I'm going to allow that book or not, just because it's not technically Wizard of the Coast official material, but I may, or I might even homebrew my own. My own thing, but just for the time being, unfortunately, that's how rules as written is what I'm going by.
Okay. So it had to be a cantrip.
Yes.
Ah, there goes that.
Yeah, but you have some damage dealing cantrips.
That'll do. I have Firebolt.
Bolt.
And either way,
Fireball.
it's still going to cost 2 sorcery points. Okay. And I'm going to cast Firebolt.
Okay.
18 to hit.
18 will hit.
Good. Let's see some damage. 10 more points of fire.
Very nice round from
27
Katya.
total, my dude.
Is it dead?
No, it's still standing. It looks very charred, though.
Crispy.
It's not liking that fire, by the way.
Oh, of course not.
Okay. Does that end
And
your
that's
turn
all I
then?
can do. Yeah, that is all I can do.
All
I
right.
use all my movement too.
Okay.
You've done the most damage, and Pipe doesn't like. Hey,
Alrighty.
target.
That brings
I
us
didn't
to
die.
Cardin, who is currently prone on the ground and no longer raging.
I say, thanks, Volley. And then I, like,
That's
I hide behind a rock.
Okay. Anything
What a fight.
anything else you want to do?
I mean, that was what... Oh, I mean, that's prone, so yeah.
Yeah,
from
so
prone.
you had
Yeah.
15 feet of movement to stand up. I think you were here, and then 15.
Yeah, so I'd be there.
Yeah, so. Yeah, but still.
Yeah, there's not really much I can do
Okay.
at the moment.
Um.
Because I'm not gonna rage or anything until I'm back into, or closer
Fighting
to
fit.
it.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, you're about to get a whole lot closer to it, as it is now angrily going to barrel down on Katya. And I don't need to measure
So-
because you were within 30 feet of it. In order to cast your spells.
This is
And-
going to hurt.
It is very angry. However, Katya, as it runs up on you, it is bleeding. It's definitely hurt and taking damage, but it's a pretty hardy creature. So it is going to make its 3 attacks on you now.
3. Woo.
So first one, that's an 18 to hit.
That'll hit.
You take 8 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
The second one, that's a 19 to hit with its
That'll
claw.
hit.
You take 9 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
And as it
How
kind
many
of
points?
9.
Oh.
And as it kind of comes
All
down
right.
with its last claw attack, that is a 21 to hit.
Oh. I'm dead.
That is that is 14 points of slashing damage. As I rolled a lot on that one and low on those other ones. How you looking?
It was how much? It was how much?
14?
14.
14 points?
14, 9, and 8. Whatever that total is.
14. That's 31 points. I am negative 12.
What's your max?
19.
Okay, so you don't outright die, but you
Jesus.
fall to the ground unconscious.
Nice.
But I made him crispy.
Yeah, I was gonna make him crispier.
That's
That
no
ends
bueno.
his turn, and now I need to roll something.
Oh no.
Okay. Valinar, it is now your turn.
Nice. You keep going down.
I would not have moved that close to him if I had known you could only cast one spell in a turn.
Unfortunately, even Katya wouldn't have known that. So,
Apparently not.
well,
So,
Katya
I guess
is
it kind of makes sense.
Katya, not much of a fighter.
He's
Yeah.
like, oh wait,
All
I don't
right.
have the power. Oh,
I've got a stupid idea that I'm gonna go ahead and go for because screw it all. Shoot, I can't do that actually. I can either heal Kadia, who's going to go down again next turn.
Mm-hmm.
because I
Or
can't
I
move
could-
far enough. Well, I could dash away, I suppose.
No, you'd have to disengage,
Well- You would have to disengage or take an attack.
and he'd just chase you because he just knocked something down and it got back up.
Or I can try to make myself a target, which could be fun.
You could. Third option, you could also continue to heal the barbarian, whose every hit point he regains as a dish is technically 2.
Oh, actually, he's in range. I can. I'll do that. I'm gonna let me move. Move 30 feet,
Okay.
right up to Carden,
Okay.
and I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds.
Thank
Wanna
you.
do them I'll just do it at level 1 for now.
Okay. You give him the touch and tell him to get his ass back out there as you give him 10 hit points.
Now go beat that thing up.
Okay.
That's a fair amount for a barbarian, to be honest.
Yeah. I'm back up to 16.
So, all right.
So,
Which is
Uh,
technically 32.
yeah.
Alright, it's my turn.
Anything with your bonus action, Valinar, real quick?
I don't think I can do anything else with my bonus action.
Okay.
I mean, I saw thaumaturgy. I can keep yelling at it.
Up to you.
That lasts for a minute.
All right. If you want to yell at it, you're welcome to.
I'm just gonna call him a POS. Just kick on piece of shit. That's it.
Piece of shit. Okay. Denock, what would you like to do?
Question, where is it looking?
At me.
Well, no. As it as Katya crumples to the ground, it almost smiles, and then as Valinar calls him a piece of shit, he kind of looks off towards Valinar. So that's kind of where he's looking currently.
Okay. I have 3 choices right now.
Uh-huh.
2 of them requires him to make a wisdom saving throw.
Uh-huh.
And since Carden is, well, I wouldn't know that, would I?
As of right now, you have not you have not
I can
seen.
technically see him, so I could have seen.
Yeah, yeah,
So I know he got some heals, but I don't know how much.
correct. He definitely does not look 100%.
But he doesn't look, knocking on death's door no more.
To be fair, you didn't know he was ever knocking on death's door, at least not today.
Fair enough. I'm gonna go with my first choice.
Okay.
Gonna cause fear.
Oh, okay.
And since it's a verbal component, I'll just simply say, "No death."
Okay.
Like that.
Huh.
Cool.
That is interesting. Is that... Hold on, I want to see something, because I feel like with some spells that do something similar to this, they, No, okay, this spell does not do that. So with some spells that do something kind of similar to this, if you're already in combat, they have advantage on the saving throw. But this spell is not that way. So let's see what he rolls.
Give it a straight roll.
It's not a with his modifier, that is a whopping 3.
Oh boy.
Nice.
So he is currently afraid. We'll use that simple. I don't know what it means, but we're gonna use that one.
Well, specifically afraid of me.
Yes. Specifically afraid of you. Frightened creature can repeat the save at the end of each of its turns. Okay, that's your action. Anything with your bonus?
Now, just to top me off on fear, it can't move towards me, right?
I'm about to double check the condition feared.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that.
To the best of my
willingly.
knowledge, you are correct, but I don't want to lead you astray.
Do
I'm
I-
not a very constant D&D player. Rules like fear don't.
So, I'm reading the condition right now. A frightened creature has disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while the source of its fear is within line of sight. The creature can't willingly move closer to the source of its fear. So,
Oh, cool.
yeah.
So it always has disadvantage on attack rolls as long as it can see you.
Or as long as it's looking at him, it's line of sight. So if he turns his back to him, that's a whole different story because he can no longer technically see Danak.
So I will technically make sure I remember where that is. Move. That's 30, right?
Yep.
Should be.
Okay. And is that your turn?
Yes.
All right. Katya, I need you to make a death saving throw, please.
Laying on the ground. Here we go. Death save. 10.
10. I actually believe that's a failure. I think it's 11 or higher.
I think so, yeah.
I don't remember off the top of my head, and I don't feel like looking it up. I'm almost positive it's 11. So that is I'm gonna just say that's your first failed death save.
That's okay.
I mean, it would make sense.
I got
1
it
to
here.
10.
Yeah.
1 to 10 fail. 11 to 20 succeed.
Yeah.
It just would make sense.
All right. With that, then, Cardin, it is now your turn.
Oh, if it's 10 or higher, you succeed.
Oh.
Really?
Ah, sweet. Yeah.
Anyway, Cardin, it is your turn.
There. I'm gonna hit it. I'm going to rage and then hit it.
Okay.
Fair enough.
That's going to be my second rage of the day.
Yes.
Hopefully this is our only fight.
I think he's got 3 in him.
Oh!
Natural 1.
Not again.
Oh my god.
Rolling
What's
severity.
going
on right now?
Oh no.
TBK, guys? TBK?
Don't tell me you rolled low on severity.
I rolled a natural 1 on severity.
Oh shit!
Oh crap.
Oh god!
Oh no.
A natural one.
Oh god. Yeah, I'm gonna say Cardin, as you come running in, great hand in tow, foaming at the mouth, swinging with all of your might against this creature. You don't pay attention to how close you are to the rocks, and as you throw everything you got into this heave, your great sword impacts this large boulder cluster and just breaks. Now standing before the troll, great sword broken in hand, still raging, but now standing in the shadow of this large creature as he looms over top of you. I'm so sorry.
I look down at my sword and I'm like, crap.
You're just like, well, this is new.
I'm still like,
Boom!
well, this is awkward.
I'm so sorry, buddy. Oh.
I'm
Game
just
is
not
not like
having
you
good
tonight.
luck right now. That's 2 crit ones to fight.
Also, while you are standing before it, you watch as some of the burns begin to, some of the burned tissue begins to kind of fade, kind of back into this yellowish skin on its abdomen, as it starts its turn. Oh wait. Oh no, I did that right. My bad. Anyway, and it is confused yet happy to see you again, as it's gonna take all 3 of its attacks on you. However, they are at disadvantage because Denock is within line of sight.
Yay! I'm helping.
11.
Wow. What did I miss?
Does an 11 hit?
11 will not hit.
Yeah. What about so the bite attack misses. What about a 19?
A 19 will most definitely hit.
Okay, I rolled a 16 and a 12. You take 9 points of slashing damage reduced to 4. Because you are raging again. Oh god, another decent roll. 18 to hit?
18 will hit.
11 on the die. That's 11 points of slashing damage reduced to 5. But that is all 3 of its attacks.
Okay, I'm back down to 7.
And it's technically metagaming to say where you're standing.
I know.
That,
Wait a minute.
I was just sort of letting you know.
What's up?
I just think there's some funky math going on there.
What do you mean?
You said he only took what, 6 and 5?
Yes,
No, I took
5 and 4, actually. 5 and 4.
5 and 4.
So you took 9 points of damage.
And your raging card, right?
That was after being halved.
That was after that was halved.
I know, that's what I'm.
And he
Yeah,
was healed
I
up to
was at
16
16.
HP. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, 16 minus 9 is 7, so. Alright.
He's doing better than me.
I need to. I gotta roll for something real quick. Okay.
Oh.
Alright. Valinar, it is your turn.
Valinar's kind of tired of seeing this thing hit everyone,
Okay.
and which one? It'd probably make more sense to Let me check the range. Hang on. Do we have enough range to get it? I do. So right in that square behind him, where I'm pointing.
Yep.
I am going to cast Flaming Sphere.
Okay.
Ooh, nice.
And where to go? Fiddle. Post. Yeah. Submit.
Boop.
Great damage. And there's a giant ball of fire in that square.
Is Flaming Sphere
It's-
an attack roll, or is it
Dex
a
save?
dex save?
Yeah.
Does a 13 save?
No.
Okay. So he takes 6 points of fire damage.
Yep, and the ball of fire is right there, and that'll just keep happening every turn he's within 5 feet of it.
How big is the sphere?
I'm pretty sure it's only 5 feet. Yeah, 5 foot.
Okay.
Oops.
Ooh. Stop drawing on my map.
And I don't
That's
suppose
fine,
I can
dude.
just move it onto him.
Yeah, you can have it on him, technically.
Fuck.
Okay, because I can move it for a bonus action.
Yeah, you can summon it on him, technically.
Well, it has to be in an unoccupied spot.
Oh.
I have to summon it in an unoccupied spot.
I got this. Hang on.
It's fine. Yeah.
There
Okay.
we go. Boop. I did it.
Dude, stop it. I got it. You don't need to
Okay.
draw on my map. Anyway.
Yes, I do. I'm trying to help.
I got this. All right.
I'm dead. What else can
that's
I do?
your that's your action. Anything for bonus or movement?
I will move. Hang on. Nope. Let me go back to the correct tool. I'll move closer to D-Knock over here.
Okay. Everybody's huddling around the source of fear.
Bring it,
Makes
bitch.
perfect sense.
All right. That brings us
My
to Dinoc.
Checking. All right. Let's try this. Oh, there we go.
Scorching Ray, a 26 will hit.
Med damage, but
Ooh.
5 fire.
one, and I get 3 of those.
Yep, that's 1 beam. Roll your other 2. So that'll hit.
Good night. I'm doing. Okay.
Also will hit.
It's
20,
off 20.
so 26, 24, and 20 all will hit for 5, 6, and 5 damage. Hey, 21 points of fire damage. Nope, 16
That's
points of 16 points of fire damage. Sorry.
I'll take that first number. Honestly.
I was adding it as I was taking it away as we went. So, all right. That's your action. Anything for a bonus or movement?
Ain't got no bonus spells,
Okay.
and I'm kind of fine right here because he can't move closer. So, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to
Yeah, you
roll
didn't-
its save at the end of its turn.
Yeah. I
That's
just
a
realized
that's a
that.
5. It's fine.
Okay.
I rolled like a 5, so no.
Cool. And my turn.
All right. That brings us to Katya. I need you to roll another
Here's
death
another
save,
death save.
please.
Good number, good number, good number.
Nope.
4. That's
Oh, failure.
that is a failure.
Oh.
1 and 1.
No
Um,
bueno.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty. Cardin. It is now your turn. You no longer have your great sword.
I'm gonna boop it with the stick. I sort of like take my quarterstaff, like walking my basically what I'm using as my walking stick is my
Yeah,
quarterstaff.
you purchased a quarterstaff, so you can use it like a quarterstaff.
Yeah, I'm going to boop it with my quarterstaff then.
Okay. So you can make an attack roll with proficiency and strength modifier.
Well, 23 hit.
Yes, that'll hit. Uh, 9 points of bludgeoning damage.
And then rage.
Oh, right. So that's 11. Good hit.
Mm.
The 11 bludgeoning damage.
Bonk.
I just sort of like boop it.
You just kind of bonk it into head.
Boop.
As it's standing there, because it took fire damage, it does not begin to re-stitch itself together.
Yay.
Okay. All right. So, and you were correct. I just double-checked myself because that's going to be important here in a minute.
Uh-oh.
About those death saves, because you've now failed one, correct?
Yes.
So,
And I've succeeded one.
yes. So
Oh god.
with that, that brings us to the troll, who is going to attempt to make attacks on Cardin, still at disadvantage because Denock is within line of sight. That's a 10.
Total?
He be trolling.
Yeah, no, 10 total. That misses.
Okay.
I'm assuming anyway.
Yeah, that misses.
15.
15 matches. So
Okay,
it
so
hits.
so he does hit. So with one of the claws, you take Jesus. That's you take after being you take 14 points of slashing damage reduced to 7.
7. I sort of not again, and I just
You go unconscious.
yeah.
No, not again.
Okay. The troll watching you fall, not being willing to move closer to Denock, is going to. He's just gonna smash you, Cardin.
Oh no.
And because you're prone, he has advantage, but because of the disadvantage, it's a straight roll.
And isn't like an
So he rolled an 18, which I believe hits you, correct?
yes. Yes.
So that is considered a critical hit, and an automatic 2 death saving throws failed.
Yep.
Ooh.
Again.
This isn't the first time.
All right. Now,
Fire.
no, he makes a wisdom save. That's a 13.
15.
Okay, that's a failure. Still afraid. Actually, on initiative count 20.
At the end of his turn, he has to make a dex save for the flaming sphere.
Oh, thank you for letting me know. 14.
Fail.
Does he take more damage on his
He
turn,
take-
or
And it's end of his turn,
okay?
and it just does another 2d6.
Okay, so he takes another 2d6 fire damage right now.
Yeah.
Is that correct? Okay.
Yep. As long as I'm reading the spell correctly.
Okay, go ahead and roll the damage. Another 6
Another
fire.
6.
Okay. And with that, on initiative count 20, You guys don't yet notice them, but you guys watch as some arrows begin flying from the tree line over your guys' heads and peppering the troll. So, that's a hit. Yeah. Okay, and then the other one, natural 20. Huh? Huh? Huh?
Is they gonna kill it?
No. You watch as. Oh, not though. You watch as the two scouts that had been following you guys kind of behind you guys, begin stepping from the woods. They just basically drop from the two trees that they're standing in front of, and just both releasing two arrows and just impacting the troll with a lot of force. One in particular arrow actually strikes like in the jaw as it rears back and actually comes out kind of through one of its eyes. It is
Ooh.
It is still
Hey, new piercing.
it is bleeding, it is hurt, and it is looking very rough right now. Valinar, it's now your turn.
Yay. So I'm just gonna step 5 feet this way.
Yep.
I am going to use Healing Word on Cardin again.
Okay.
Great, I'm minned out again. Awesome.
You get 6
How are
heal.
you
You
doing
get
that?
6 HP, Cardin.
Yay. Does that erase my death save failures, or
Yes.
not until combat's over?
No, it erases them.
Okay.
And then he's going to cast Spare the Dying on Kadia.
Okay. Kadia,
does that do?
you are no longer bleeding out. You are considered stabilized, but you are still incapacitated.
Okay,
So you're no longer
I'm doing-
dying.
gotcha.
With that, I am going to remove the X and just kind of put a skull and crossbones on.
And-
So
But I
just
now have 0 HP.
yes, correct. Just to
Right,
remind myself. So, all right.
You just no longer
Yeah.
make rolls.
Yes. You no longer have to make a death saving throw on your turn.
Okay.
And then
I just
Valinar
kinda sit here
calls
waiting.
Valinar then calls the troll a motherless whore.
Okay. That brings us to Dinak. I was literally just staring at your name and couldn't think of it.
That's kind of rough.
Yep.
Let's go with another set of Scorching Ray.
Okay.
Kill it.
23 will hit.
Nice.
Fire.
Look at that damage.
Wow. You can't get much worse than that. A 13 will miss,
Uh-oh.
but a
nat
natural
20?
20 will not.
Nat 20. That'll make up for the mess.
14 points of fire damage. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. How would you like to kill it?
Nice.
All right. So with the nat 20, so the first fire ray just hits him, chars his shoulder a little bit. But the second one, I want it to pierce right through the middle of his chest. Just burns a hole straight through his diaphragm. little bit of his heart, and just burn from one side out the other.
Yeah.
Heartburn.
As this creature is like kind of like looking towards you and like around a little bit, it starts to move, and as you release this spell, the one goes wide, one kind of just nicks it in the shoulder, and as it's beginning to turn its body, the one just bursts through its chest, kind of like looking down at this gaping hole in its insides, looking like a plasma cutter cutting through metal, and it just kind of, and it's going to collapse dead. And just for flavor, I'm gonna say it lands on Cardin.
That sounds about right with what my luck's been tonight.
Combat has officially ended.
So Valinar will use Cure Wounds on Katia now to wake him up.
Okay.
Oh, thank God.
All right. So go ahead and roll the healing. So
9 points.
9 hit points. You regain 9, Katia, and you come back to consciousness.
Well, that was definitely not one of my best moments.
That definitely wasn't any of our best moments.
The
I don't know.
The
I thought
two-
that
What did I miss?
the two scouts kind of step out and are kind of like bows notched and kind of just, well,
Wait. Did we kill it?
You
like
asked that as I come up to start carving something.
you definitely did kill it, but you did not do it on your own. And they kind of give you this like disapproving look, but you guys also know that they don't have the final say in anything.
If you ask me, technically, I put in my portion of work before you guys showed up. So in my eyes, I did kill it on my own.
Your portion of the one who's kind of like slightly bigger than the other kind of just goes, your work isn't put in until the thing falls.
I was too busy being passed out to do more.
I
At
saw.
that point, Valinar looks over to Cardin and just kind of goes, "So what did we learn about charging forward?"
It fun?
No, that's not what we learned.
You actually hear one of the elves snicker at that. Sorry, sorry, let me rephrase. You have a half orc and a half elf standing there with you. The half orc is obviously the little bit bigger one, and he's the one that specifically snorts at that comment.
Cardin makes like these like he's thinking really hard. Like he's thinking really hard.
Really hardly. That sounds about right.
Yeah, he's like really hardly. And he's like,
We learned
kill monster easier with other people?
Yes, we learned that charging forward alone gets you killed.
I'm not dead.
No, but you are beaten to hell.
I know.
The half orc kind of goes, you two, pointing to you, Katia, and you, Cardin, got well, he kind of points to you, Cardin, and goes, you got fucked up. And then he points to you, Katia. You were a little ballsy.
I didn't know the limitations of my power.
And the half elf basically just goes, you bit off more than you could chew.
I was trying to hunt the troll. I mean, that's what we were out here for, right?
Yes, but you are not meant for, points to Cardin, melee. You do not enter melee. You stay out of range of him possibly getting in melee.
I thought I was
only
out of
melee.
range.
And then you hear Denox speak up.
Or you make him afraid of you.
Yes, but that sometimes does not last forever or on some creatures at all.
I just didn't think that something so large could move so fast.
No comment.
The half-orc kind of like shakes his head and goes, regardless, you did kill it, but you had some help.
Yeah, a little bit of help.
Honestly, quite a bit with that one shot that took out an eye.
Yeah, that's fair.
Speaking of, I go forward and start.
I'm just getting rid of the box. Go ahead. Okay.
Would it be investigation to?
To what?
Start looking for anything salvageable I can take
Oh.
as material.
Side note-
That is survival, and yes, Valinor.
No, when Denock walks over to start looking at the body, Valinor then drops Flaming Sphere.
Okay, fair enough. I assumed at some point in time you got rid of it, but
No, why couldn't it be the other number?
I mean, technically it is the other number, but it's also reversed. It's like a dyslexic wrote your numbers there, buddy.
There's new palindrome.
So for
Alright, so
for our
12
podcast
for me.
listeners, he rolled a 12 and a 21.
11 on the dice and 20 on the dice.
Natural 20 and 11. So you win some, you lose some.
I mean, I got that killing blow, so I'll take it.
The two hunters kind of go, well, you scavenge your hunt. We shall report back to Palig and let him know of what happened here, and he will make the final decision. We'll see you back at the hall. And they begin.
As soon as they've left, Katya says, "What is he deciding exactly from this?"
If we're worthy to carry the letter or whatever.
Eventually, he
I-
wanted to
that-
test your metal and see how combat seasoned you guys were.
Uh,
In
While-
terms of your survival check, Enoch, not a whole lot salvageable from this thing. It is literally a giant with not a whole lot on it. It seems to have a lot of like natural extremities and a lot of natural defense. But with a 12, I would say that you could acquire a troll like claw, like a singular claw, and one of its fangs.
sure.
Did not roll great, but wasn't terrible either. So
While I'm sorry, just about knocked something over on my table.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, thankfully I caught it. So while I'm doing that, Denock's actually going to turn to Katya and say,
Speaking of the letters, or scrolls, how are they? You got pretty smacked around.
What was that? You're gonna have to speak up. I didn't hear you. My ears are still ringing.
How are the letters? Scrolls, whatever they are. I don't
Letters?
remember.
Oh, the writs. Katya starts looking through his robes for the royal writs.
They don't seem to be any more damaged than they would be if you were to just take regular paper, a regular piece of paper and fold it up and put it in like a jacket pocket of some kind. Obviously they're a little crinkled and everything, but that's kind of expected as, traveling. Surprisingly, Denock, his robes hold up surprisingly well to damage. Like, even though he's taking damage, the robes that he seems to wear are a very firm material. It appears like the claws and stuff. They don't do like a dragging tear too much. They do a lot shorter, but they do seem to pierce the material still, though.
mm-hmm.
Okay, it appears that the writs are alright. They're a bit crinkled up from just general moving around and battling. A little bit moist. I've been sweating today. Ugh. But other than that, they are still fine. Although, after we're done here with Palig, it would appear that they'd be useless anyway.
Well, it's better we make sure that combat won't ruin them. Now, whenever we have the chance to rewrite them, at least they aren't the technically important version.
Yeah, I think in the future I'll start storing them in a bag instead of on my person. Or if we end up having a messenger with us, maybe they should hold on to it and stay out of sight while we're in combat.
That would
Basically
probably
be-
make the most sense.
Basically, be bodyguards.
Yep.
That's what we would be doing, yes. And
Escort mission.
yeah. Let's hope that they know how to get behind cover,
Yes. Valnar says, staring at Katia.
though. Anyways, we should probably go back and see Palig now. I'm sure he'll have received word of our
Misadventure.
troubles. Sure, misadventure, troubles, whatever you want to call them. By the time we arrive.
Yeah. So you
By
guys,
the way, Carden, how are you going to fix your sword?
Carden.
Yeah.
His sword?
Can I like? Yeah, I'm sort of. I like pick up both halves.
Oh no, it's
Sort of,
not
like,
like
stare
it's
at
not
it.
it's not like halves. It's like splinters.
It's just like shards.
Yeah, it's like if you were to punch a mirror.
Okay.
Yeah,
Does the
it's
hilt still exist?
the hilt still
or-
exists.
I pick up the hilt.
He's got like this like maybe 8-inch essentially blade at this point. The it looks more like a dagger now than a great sword in his hand.
I pick it up and like I sort of just like put it in like a like in the sheath as like a token to make it look like I have something. Because I mean, I still have my quarterstaff and hand axe, but like I'm sort of attached to my sword. So I sort of just put it there out of habit.
So you didn't really answer the question that Denock posed to you.
I
Um,
use minor
what was
illusion
the-
on.
What was the total question again? Sorry. It's
How are
been
you
a
going
long
to
day.
fix it?
I probably won't be able to.
Actually,
myself.
I have a mending spell that should be able to put it back together. Let me see that. Let me see the hilt of your blade.
I'll give it to him.
Okay, Katya takes the hilt, examines it, and then casts minor illusion to make it look like it's magically fixed. And hands it back to Carden. There you go.
Oh boy.
Garden, he fixed your
Um,
sword in a matter of seconds.
Intelligence to see if I.
Intelligence against
no.
spell save DC. which
It's an
is 14.
investigation check.
Investigation.
Yep.
Okay.
You had to score 14 or higher.
Oh.
Damn.
Your spell save DC is what?
14. He got it.
Okay, so for the podcast listeners, that's a 16 both
16.
ways. So Carden, this is very clearly an illusion. It's not even the same color as your great sword from before.
I say. This isn't fixed. Why
It
you
was
try to
until you-
elude me?
It was fixed until you took it back.
No, it wasn't.
I just like to imagine like Cardin like
Yeah,
sees
I'm
that,
just like. Actually, I should probably do it a second time after he said that. Yes, I know I'm bringing this on myself, but I think I probably should make. I think this time like an intelligence, like
Insight.
for a conversational, like a conversation.
well,
thing.
that'd be insight because he's technically trying to
Insight?
deceive you.
Okay.
So Katya, roll deception.
Gotcha. Take that, 23 on deception.
And a 14 on the insight.
Okay.
That makes sense.
That makes sense. And I just put it in.
I like to feel like Cardin would just like notice that's an illusion and just like take a massive swing down on Katya. It just passes right through him.
Oh, thank God.
I like that idea, but the original way that I was thinking about it was I was going to go put it in my sheath, but I was going to do it like I was doing a normal greatsword. And it just like, and the first part just like phases through the.
It's also still incredibly light in your hand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like the weight's completely different, and then I go to sheath it, and I almost go to go to sheath it like normal, and then I just see the point of the illusion just go like face through the bottom of the sword of the sheath.
All right. So you guys begin heading back to town then.
Why not?
Mm-hmm.
No point in standing here with this rotting, hulking corpse.
Okay.
I hold up the fang.
At least I got a trophy.
Cool.
All
Cool.
right. So you guys begin to
Trophy
head
good.
and make your way back into town.
Woo.
I think while you guys walk, I think this will be an excellent place to take a short break.
Actually, it's almost midnight.
I know, but because we started late, I thought we might go a little bit later. Not a whole lot, but I figured we'd just take a real quick break to kind of step away as we needed it. I thought about doing it before the combat, but you guys actually got to combat a little bit earlier than I was anticipating. And then combat
Cardin.
and then combat took a little bit different of a turn than I expected.
Yeah, Cardin.
Well, better
So-
level up after this.
Well, I mean, the freaking nat ones are just they hurt.
So yeah, they do.
Telling
And
me.
I got
Stop rolling
crit, and I got critted twice. Or not twice, but I got critted and then I got hit hard.
You
Yeah.
got a critical fail, too.
So
Yeah,
that
and I
first
had-
round of combat, so outside of the critical hit, but that first round of combat, those first two attacks that I rolled, the first one was a straight up max damage, which is like 16 points of damage. And then the second one was like 14 points of damage. So yeah, it was just a lot of damage in like two to three attacks, and I'm just like, I'm so sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
but anyway, guys, I think we're gonna just take a very short break here, just to kind of I need to get some more water, use the restroom, that kind of a thing. I think we'll go just a little bit later tonight, probably not a whole lot later because a lot of us still have stuff to do this weekend. But
Yep.
we'll
Yay, work.
yeah, I know, guys, but
Yep.
I figured just a little bit later. So we'll be right back in just a few minutes, everyone. All right, and we are back, guys. And I think we are gonna just kind of dive right back into it here. With the travel time increased a little bit due to the limping and hopping of Katya and Cardin. You
I'll be
guys,
fine.
you guys eventually do make it back to the city and are fairly quickly led to the chamber that you had met Palig and his two advisors with before. And
I'm
as you
here.
guys kind of enter, this time it's just him sitting at the table He is currently eating what seems to be some kind of a meal, and as you guys approach, he's kind of like hunched over it, and he's just sure. He kind of like indicates to some chairs as he's as you guys approach, kind of just and kind of wipes his face with the back of his hand and kind of swallows. So, how was the hunt?
Kate plops down into a chair. Certainly not my best moment.
Naturally, I say fun.
Says the guy who went down like 3 times and broke his sword.
Twice. Thank you very much.
No.
Oh,
Sorry, I
really?
forgot you broke your sword twice.
What?
Well, you're not wrong.
I believe I broke my sword twice.
Well, a sword is replaceable. In fact, if you go talk with Flint down at his forge, I'm sure he could make you a new one. But that's not why we're here. I'm told by my scouts that you guys did in fact kill the beast. He kind of like brushes his hands and looks over at you guys. But it wasn't without their aid.
Yeah, he got some good hits off.
He got 1 hit. That's all it took.
I think they each got 1 hit, and I think one of them took out an eye.
Technically, each of them released 2 arrows.
Okay, I thought they each released 1.
No,
My bad.
sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were still talking about the troll.
And kind of just goes. Now, I will admit, trolls are not an easy beast to hunt. But it would seem a lot of this information in this letter, and he kind of produces the letter again and lays it on the table and kind of taps it. Seems to be fairly accurate. With regards that you guys are essentially strangers to one another, despite knowing each other for the better part of a week at this point. You guys don't know how to fight as a team, as a group. One runs off headlong into danger, while 2 others stay safely at a distance for the most part. One travels in the middle as to keep essentially a buffer between the 2, still being able to reach both the front and the back lines when necessary. Smart in terms of a cleric. Stupid in terms of the spear tip. And he kind of looks at you, Cardin, when he says that. Now, a group such as yours, I figured would struggle with a troll. I did. But I thought perhaps that my guys wouldn't need to intervene. He kind of lets out this long, low sigh. It almost sounds like a growl in his chest. Teamwork would make all the difference in that kind of a fight. So, I'm gonna propose something to you guys, because I like you. You guys are funny. You guys have brought interesting knowledge to us. some kind of excitement for this floating piece of rock, if you will. You guys will return to the city of to the city of Dagbor. You will acquire one of Zio's individuals whom he trusts and whom we know. Quinfarin is a friendly name that I remember. I'm sure there are others, but there are. Bring one of those back. Bring one of them back with you. Potentially new letters. As you guys obviously know that you may need to have some more time. And when you return, we'll hold a new trial, essentially. You guys will prove your mettle in front of the entire city, fighting a beast similar to a troll, not another troll itself.
Oh joy.
We'll see if we can acquire one, he kind of says with a grin. But during during that time that you guys spend traveling, I want you guys to become a team. Work as a team. Because when you have a team that works together, you'll be able to much more efficiently operate. You'll be able to ensure that the team that you are putting together doesn't fall. Putting the spearhead first in order to both defend, deal damage, while having a pardon me, I just ate, and having some form of a healer behind him, beside him, whatever that may be, healing, defending, whatever he or she may need to do, and having those with range stay back, dealing damage from afar. That kind of a group can win just about any encounter they'll ever encroach, provided materials are available and the will to win and survive are still there. But let me ask you this. Where do you guys think you would be right now if I had not sent at least 2 of my men with you? Kind of leans back in his chair, expectingly.
Cardin unnaturally says nothing.
Speaking
I'd
as the
probably still be
healer,
laying on the ground.
speaking as the healer, I'm pretty sure we'd all be dead.
You look fairly tapped at the... Oh, go ahead, sorry, Dinok, I didn't mean to cut you
Enoch
off.
just shrugs and kind of nods to Valnar and just says, I was actually out of some higher level spells, so no more fire rays.
I had one spell left.
Most of you
I
look...
had plenty of spells, but you know.
Yeah.
Most of you look pretty tapped. And if you aren't tapped, and he looks to you, Katya, you're fucked up. But from my understanding, a lot of it was something that happened on the wind and on a whim. Because somebody wasn't able to control themselves. And he kind of like looks to you, Cardin, kind of knowingly, and he goes, I do not shame, I seek to bring wisdom.
Okay. I sort of like give like the I sort of like nod shrug type of thing,
Mm-hmm.
like a green, like an agreeing shrug type of deal.
And he kind of goes, "If you wouldn't have been with allies, my understanding that you would have been dead probably very quickly before even honestly, if things would have been in worse straits, you would have been dead before even have landing a blow, from my understanding. But I do know that you managed to land one before the beast downed you." He kind of like leans forward and goes, "Use your head. Pardon, I know you're not super bright."
Okay. I don't hit my head on him.
I mean, he's not that close. He's not that close to you, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
Or like I don't hit my head on the nearest like
Yeah.
whatever.
The table or whatever.
Yeah.
You're more likely to survive in a herd. My understanding, you came from a herd once, yes?
I guess you could call it that. I mean, it's a tribe, so roughly the same thing.
Hmm. But that tribe or herd not with you now. He kind of gestures to the rest of the group. This is your herd now. You will survive with them, or you'll possibly die with them.
Or you'll be the cause of our death.
Potentially. He kind of leans back once again and he kind of goes,
That one could also be said of all of us.
I have said my piece. As I said before, the troll is a difficult creature to fall for a group fairly new. But I had an idea of what you guys held within. Setting up a strategy and battle plan beforehand, that fight would have gone drastically different, would it not? Would it not have?
Might have.
I shrug.
Plans usually make things go a little simpler.
I feel like, well, Karin's feeling like this guy is sharing a lot of wisdom and it's making a lot of sense to him, so he's just like, like the nodding along shrug thing.
Mm-hmm. So, I've had my piece, I've said my piece. If these terms are acceptable, then accept. And go and fetch someone from Zio.
Go fetch?
Someone
go
from Zio.
fish.
What did you say was the name of the messenger that you were familiar with?
The specific name that he said today was Quinfarin.
How do you spell that?
I will type it in the chat for you.
Okay. For my notes. Because I'm going to need to remember this.
So,
Quinfarin.
yeah, it
I
is
was
Quinfaren.
Got it.
So,
The messenger of...
I want to say that I have said another name in the past as well, but I do not remember it off the top of my head. Which is why he has said today, Quinfarin or others, pretty much. So, Quinfarin is just the name that he kind of found today.
Got it.
So basically, he's asking you. He continues with, Quinfarin, and if those terms are acceptable, great. If not, don't return unless you're looking for a retirement. He kind of just smiles and waits for you guys to decide what you are going to do.
Well,
Come on,
clearly, yeah, before we go heading off back and risking more potential griffins, we should definitely rest up.
speaking of griffins, do you have anything to ward them off, mayhaps?
I don't know about you guys, but I like griffins.
You would.
When Cardin says that,
Are you going to like poke
Are you
him?
going to like Gibbs me or something?
it's gonna just start poking him in the back of the head.
All right. You feel this force poking you in the back of the head, Carden.
Well, Carden, since you like griffins so much, you can just have the next one.
All to yourself. Have fun.
And when you're, what was it, several hundred feet in the air and falling at a rapid pace, have fun.
Again.
We'll watch it all over some camp food or something.
But back to my question. Do you have
Griffins.
anything to ward off griffins?
Griffins tend to follow prey that they can easily hunt. They're also very spiteful creatures. So, revenge is very much in their nature. So, if you can just scare one off, if one, comes about your camp. But for the most part, just having a fire a lot of times is enough to deter them.
You said fire.
Keeping your
Not
fire
fire.
stocked at night. Typically they take
Oh,
that
I
as
can
a
do
sign.
fire.
Typically they take
Although
that
I
as a
think
sign
lightning worked pretty well last time.
kind of like looks at you and kind of like gives you this like, are you gonna let me talk? Look and then goes,
Sorry.
fire typically they take as a sign of human-ish settlements or even camps, and they'll tend to avoid it. Griffins are relatively harmless creatures in some facts. Usually when scared or provoked, revenge is another good one, protecting their nest, is when they become aggressive. In some cities, in fact, over in the city of Tolus, griffins have actually been domesticated. They're mounts over there.
So I guess it would be good to know what kind of creatures are actually drawn to campfires at night.
Fires themselves, not very many, but I would advise leaving any open food out overnight. You know, bears and whatnot.
Gotcha. So wild animal. Check. Gotcha.
Yeah. So, do you guys tell him what you would like to do? In
What time
terms
is
of
it right now?
in terms of the
Sorry.
agreement, and in terms of time right now, it is probably early afternoon, so probably 2:30.
Oh lord.
Which in my brain you guys have a bit to do here in the city yet. Or at least some things that you would like to do. Such as potentially buying a sword and visiting a magic shop outside
Oh
of town.
yeah.
Or an
Still had to go to that.
a mystic of sense, not necessarily an arcana shop, but somebody who dabbles. Excuse me, but somebody who dabbles in the arcane arts.
The shaman. That's right. We need to go see her. As for the terms of the agreement, let me make sure I got this right. So, when we leave and go back to Dagbor, did I say that right, Dagbor?
Yep.
I believe that was right. Go back to Dagbor. We had to get a messenger of Mayor Zio,
Mm-hmm.
as well as
Cat.
refreshed.
Your cat.
Cat.
I'm sorry, she just won't go lay down. It was either that or her meowing at the door. So, we had to get a messenger of Zio belonging to Mayor Zio.
Yep.
We had to refresh our royal writs, and then come back. And during that time, we had to learn how to better cooperate as a team because we will be tested when we return.
Correct.
Is that right?
Correct.
That doesn't seem unreasonable, although that's about half a week to a full week of travel. That's a short amount of time to learn how to fight as a team, in my eyes.
I mean, you at least
I
know
guess we
that
could start by-
you're going to be up against something that is relatively similar to a troll.
Yeah. I guess we could start by training our barbarian to walk on a leash.
No.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I have to interject here real quick above game. I just got this image of a barbarian with one of those child harnesses.
Oh my god.
Better hope he don't start charging.
Yeah, because I'd like to see which one of you is holding on to it.
My luck.
I'd be the only one that have any sort of chance.
Pretty much.
He's actually tied to all three of us.
Mhm.
In order to
I mean,
give you
hey,
an advantage on an aid, you'd probably have to like have all three of you.
Right.
I mean, if he starts charging, all we need is some skateboards.
True. But what's a skateboard?
A skate what?
Anyway,
A what board?
do you guys accept the terms and conditions that have been
Yes.
laid out for you?
I didn't read it, but yes, I accept.
I'll do what everyone else does. I'm not reading the terms. I'm accepting the terms, and I will
Okay.
sign in blood.
Okay.
Dina's gonna need to
Hashtag
see-
Apple.
Ah! Dina's gonna need to see the paper.
Huh?
There is no paper.
Katya produces one of the royal writs and hands it to Dinok.
Oh, good lord.
Cardin is like, is there just naturally after this experience, Cardin's like, is there a way to maybe be able to sense what is going on in nature a little bit better, or like calm my impulsiveness a little bit?
Well, that is a task for you in your own mind. But feeling nature around you is just calming oneself and one's inner thoughts, and just being able to experience nature around you. In terms of your impulsiveness, that's a battle that you have to conquer. Only you can conquer. Kind of gives you that sorry kind of look.
Meh.
So, all right, and anything else last minute here?
I think we're good.
Okay.
Or at least I am.
Then I will say
Yeah.
we're gonna go ahead and end the session here as you guys begin to leave his building, essentially. And the next week, you guys will have an opportunity to explore the city for a while, and then you guys, I imagine, will rest for the evening and then head out first thing in the next morning. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Sounds good to
most
me.
likely.
Okay. Then that is what we will have and what I will prepare for. And you guys have accomplished that for today anyway. So awesome job, guys. Thank you guys for sticking with us through all of this. We had a lot of fun. Yes, I know we went a little late tonight, but that's because we started a little bit late. So
And we pretty much did the exact same amount of time.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Started a half hour later, ended a half hour later. Not too
Yeah.
bad in my book.
And 1 minute, a half hour and 1 minute.
Well,
Both
I don't know when
times.
we exactly started either, there, buddy.
We started
Anyway.
at 9:31.
Anyway. Anyway, you guys can all so this week 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, you'll find me, Blind, and Rom playing Borderlands 2 on Sunday, Monday, Wednesday. I'll let you guys
baby!
DLC for Borderlands 2, and I'll let everybody know about what my own streaming schedule is like over on Twitter. If you guys missed last week's episode, go check it out on the Big Ripper YouTube channel. You can catch it there, or over on Podbean under Mundus. But yes, that's how it is at the moment. Romulus, go ahead and plug yourself really quick, and we'll get out of here.
All right, so I won't be streaming tomorrow. Actually, tomorrow will be personal day. But you will find me at twitch.tv/Romulus. Next Thursday at 9 p.m. We'll be We'll be finishing up the Cathedral of the Deep, actually, in Dark Souls 3 Cinders mod.
Awesome.
It's been a lot of fun so far with that.
Good. All right, so yeah, don't forget to check him out. And in the meantime, guys, you guys have a great night, and we'll catch you in the next one. Night, everyone.
Goodbye.
See y'all.
See y'all.